But
Where do you run?
Mainly I've been on the treadmill. If I can't get out, then I'm on the treadmill.
You have a treadmill at home?
Yeah, I go through a treadmill a year.
I'm on the air today on episode 27, and I have this special guest today. Who am I speaking with?
Eric Strong.
Eric Strong. Eric, where are you from?
Originally from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Where'd you go to high school?
Well, I went to high school in Nebraska.
In Nebraska?
Oh, yeah.
How long you been in Charlotte?
Since 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
And today we met through a mutual friend, and you were going to doing running. They're called guide runs. Is that the right way to say this?
I mean, I have guide runners.
Guide runners.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me what that is?
I mean, I'm blind, as you can tell.
Right.
But, yeah, I like to run, so, basically I needed some assistance. So, like, a guide runner would just aid me in, giving me the landscape. I usually use just a hand tether. And, they run side by side and, just veer left, right, basically.
I heard you were pretty fast.
I might.
But who can keep up with you, though? Like, if you're going to go do a run and you want to run at a certain pace, do you have certain runners that you need to run with that can pace you? Or do you have just like anyone that comes out and runs and you kind of run at their pace? How does that work?
Well, like if I'm racing, of course, my guide has to be faster than me, preferably substantially faster than me. But if I'm just going out for like a, everyday daily run, training run or whatnot, I'll just run anybody's pace.
Right.
So.
Is it just running? Can you ride a bike or can you do anything like that? Or is it just running?
I mean, I do everything. I've done triathlon before. I mean, like, I do like a bungee tether tied to my thigh and then be tied to their thigh. So then we just swim. And then, when I feel the tug, and I'll follow that direction. And then as for the biking, get a tandem bike.
How long did it take you to learn how to do that?
The guide, I mean, like the running?
Yeah, I mean, how long have you been blind? Your whole life? Or is this something new that happened?
Well, I was born with congenital glaucoma.
Okay.
So I've had sight, you know what I mean? I've been able to see fairly well. It was just till like 2015, surgery went kind of bad. I didn't recover, bounce back from it. And so by like 2016, it chopped my vision in half and it just started progressing. But I mean, with glaucoma, it was going to do that in the first place, So I got about 33 years with some decent sight. And so when I ran track in high school, I was actually able to see. So I ran by myself. And then at work, a buddy, he actually told me and taught me that I can actually run being blind. And so I was like, what, how, So we met up at Freedom Park, and he just basically showed me, grabbed my arm, was like, here, as long as the person stays right beside you, here, he kicked my foot to the side. It's like, all right, as long as we stay side by side, I won't trip over your feet, you won't trip over my feet, forearm space, bam, that's it. And took off and been running ever since.
What year was that?
2016.
So 2016.
Yeah.
You went out and found the love of getting outside and running again.
Oh, yeah. It was also the same year I saw they had at John C. Smith, they had the trials for the 2016 Paralympics. And I was like, hold on. I used to run some times like that. Let me see if I can get my speed back.
Right.
And so I started going to trying to find people to guide and things like that. So I started going to like local breweries and things like that to, just try to find people who were up to run. Couldn't really find anybody that was down for track work at that time, so I just started just running and then, just doing distance and things like that. And I realized, I got up to first time I started running, going like light pole to light pole. I had no juice from taking 20 years off from running. And so I worked my way back up, and I was up to running like 60 miles a week and things like that, but I wasn't racing. And so, about 2017, is when I actually just jumped on the scene racing and things like that, and just I had a guide at that point in time I was running with, and he was like, if I can get to a 9-minute mile, I'd be able to we could run all the time. So I was like, all right. So I got to 9-minute miles, and just kept getting faster and faster and faster, and so I had to keep finding new guides.
So what's your mile now?
Anyway, about 5:20, I say.
Yeah, we got to get to a 9-minute mile so I can run. But now I'm at 5.
But my all-day pacer, it doesn't matter.
That is super fast.
That's just 1 mile. That's
1 mile in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and some change.
That is super fast. Now, what is considered like an Olympic speed?
Well, to qualify for Paralympics in that, I need to get that right under 5.
And you're close.
Yeah. Because they run the 1,500 meters, so they want a 1,500 meters, which I could most likely, I think if you were to convert it out, it's about that. But that would just get me in the door, you know what I mean? I got enough speed right now to come in last, you know.
But you're a distance runner.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty even all the way around the board. Like, if you were to look up my times, I mean, like, from 5K to marathon, I'm pretty consistent. And so, like, they got a couple of apps if you look at, you know, put in your pace chart or whatever. Like, oh, if you run a 5K at this pace, it'll guesstimate what your marathon time is. And I'm right around there.
So what's your marathon pace?
Marathon pace right now is 7:11.
7:11.
Yeah, that's the one I got to beat.
7 hours?
No, 7 minutes and 11 seconds per mile for 26.2
Oh, sorry. So I'm
miles.
talking like when you run a marathon, how many miles is that?
26.2.
Okay, and how fast do you run that?
3 hours and 9 minutes.
3, that's what I meant. 3 hours.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, I'm off. My math's not real good, but I'm sitting here thinking a marathon. I don't even know how far a marathon is. It could be 50 miles. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's 26 miles.
26.2. The point 2 is the hardest part.
The point 2 is the hardest part.
Yeah.
And where have you done these?
All over the U.S. I mean, I ran the New York City Marathon. I ran the Boston Marathon. I ran the Sacramento CIM in Sacramento. I've ran the Houston Marathon, of course, the Charlotte Marathon, and a few others. You know, Omaha.
So when you register for these marathons, you have a guide that comes with you and does that?
Generally, I took guides with me to races, and I've had, you know, met first-time guides, and then, like, you know, first time I meet them, either some have guided before, some haven't guided before. I might meet them at the location. Got a couple ways to link up with people, like through United Stride, and, you know, got a lot of other different venues.
How long does it take for a guide to get, you know, used to doing what you do, like to guide you? Can they do it in a day? Can they learn in a day?
Oh yeah, I can teach you about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. Like,
Wow.
some people call me the guide whisperer, you know, but
The guide whisperer.
Yeah, I do run with a lot of people.
And you work. Where do you work?
I work in Lions Services.
And what do you do there?
You know, I manufacture things for the armed forces right now. We're trying to go commercial, get some more, you know, more materials and more things in. But I actually work in hydration, so I like mass produce Molly's hydration bags.
So what's in that?
You know, it's just like a hydration vest, like for hiking or whatnot.
Right. And there's just a vest that holds
About a liter of water. Yeah, it has a couple of D-rings on if you want to hook on, you know, some gear to it.
So at this job, what do you do? You know, since you're blind, what do you do there?
I assemble and I sew whatever they might need. I turn sometimes, you know.
Sew.
Yeah, like a sewing machine.
You can run a sewing machine.
Yeah, I can thread a bobbin. I can, you know.
I can't even do that.
Yeah.
And I can see.
Yeah. You don't have to see do it just by feel. Yeah.
By
Once
feel.
you do it a few times, you know, you'll get used to it. First time was hard, you know, sitting there sweating, trying to thread the needle, whatever, whatnot. But, you know, a little time and shoot, now it's.
And how long you been
there? Since 2010.
Since 2010.
Yeah, about April 2010.
And how old are you?
39.
39.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had to think about that for a second.
Gotcha. So where do you live here in Charlotte?
I stay on the like northwest side, kind of towards like Mount Holly up 16.
And your family's here too?
Yeah, pretty much my whole family, like from my mom's side to my dad and my dad's side. Like my mom was military, that's why, you know, I moved all over. So
Where all over is that?
Myrtle Beach, Misawa, Japan, Denver, Colorado, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Bellevue, Nebraska, you know, Dover, Delaware.
How was Japan?
That's one of my favorite places. I was pushing hard to try to make it to Tokyo, but I didn't get my paperwork in time, and I didn't get the right races done. So,
Damn,
see about
Tokyo.
Paris, yeah.
So you were in Tokyo when you were in Japan?
I've been to Tokyo. I actually lived in Misawa.
How do you say that?
Misawa.
Misawa.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite part of Japan?
The freedom, I guess I had.
The freedom?
Yeah.
How was the food?
I was so picky, man. I was still eating McDonald's, man.
Have you branched out? Do you eat a little bit different now?
Yeah. I do sushi now.
I love sushi.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. Back then, I'm like, you know, seaweed? No,
yeah. What's your favorite sushi?
I don't even know my name, you know. I just like, shoot, I try them all, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you have brothers, sisters?
I have 2 sisters.
And they're living here in Charlotte?
No, they stay with my mom now. Actually, they stay on their own now, but they're up in Delaware.
In Delaware?
Yeah.
Right on, man. So you had a girlfriend, you got a wife, you had, anything like that?
Yeah, I got a little fiance.
Fiance?
Yeah.
Tell me about her.
I mean, she's special, she got my back.
What does she do?
She's a nurse.
Nurse?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love it. So what's your next race? What's coming up next?
Well, actually, I got the Running Scared 5 Miler on Saturday.
You got to run what?
The Running Scared 5 Miler, 5K and Monster Mile.
Okay.
On Saturday.
Okay.
And then, but my next big race is CIM. It's like the national championship for VI.
Okay.
And so it's out in Sacramento. So there's 50 to 60 VI athletes go out there. We all compete.
Do you have any sponsors?
I'm working on it. I got a few people who might look out for a race here and there. I'm with a group. I'm actually president of Achilles Charlotte, non-profit organization helping, people with disabilities become and maintain being active and things like that.
I love that.
But, Ultra Running Company helps me out a lot. Gives me whatever gear I need. If they don't have it, they order it for me. So
is that the shoes?
Yeah.
Right, and it's Ultra
Running Company.
Ultra. Oh, that's a local running store, like a shoe store.
Yeah.
But what shoes do you actually run in?
I prefer the Endorphin Speeds, like to race in.
What is that?
It's a Saucony Endorphin Speed.
What do those cost?
$200.
About $200?
Yeah, and then I like the pros, but ever since I ran the Vermont 100 last time, I just used the pros for like a short race.
Okay.
And so they were like $225. But
how often do you have to change the shoes?
Well, my room looks like a Foot Locker somewhat, so I keep switching up my shoes, so I never wear them out.
The same shoe, just multiple different colors or different.
Yeah, I basically get all the colors, but for the most part, I got different brands of shoes. I do like Saucony. Saucony and Hoka are my 2 main running shoes. Hoka.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Hoka.
Hoka.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I was calling them hookah.
No, it's Hoka.
Like the hookah bar or whatever.
Yeah. No.
Well, we've got a few things to taste here because you're at the bar. You're at the Real Talk with Mike Burke, and you can't come here and not have a drink.
Right.
So I know we're drinking a little bit of water. We appreciate our sponsor today, Core Hydration Water. We love Core Hydration. Thank you so much, Core.
Mm-hmm.
Core is amazing. We love it. They're absolutely so delicious. Hold on. Thanks, Core. If you notice from my very first podcast to now, I've been drinking Core perfectly balanced pH purified water, and is 30 ounces and is the best 30 ounces of water I've ever had. And the bottle is made from 100% recycled plastic. So support your Core hydration. Thank you, Core. We love you. Today we're going to be drinking some tequila, and I don't even know if I can pronounce this correctly, but it's Tavo tequila. It's an extra añejo. It's a little bit dark. It's got a reddish finish, and it's in barrel. It's been cast in a French oak barrel. Let's give it a taste.
It's smooth.
That's really smooth.
Oh, yeah.
You like it?
Oh, yeah.
Do you taste anything in it? Like if you were to, I would say close your eyes and tell me what you what you taste.
It's sweet. Kind of like a maple, like a honey. But,
Tasty.
Yeah.
I actually really like this. Keith at Southern Spirits. Want to give a shout out to Southern Spirits. If you ever want to come to Charlotte, North Carolina, go over the border in South Carolina and go to Southern Spirits. They have the largest selection of tequilas, gins, whiskeys, mezcals, and anything that you would like to add to a bar. Wines, they're amazing. Drew is the managing partner, him and his father, and they have Levi, Keith, and a really good staff. And all of my bar and all my liquor that I can buy when I'm in town goes, and I buy it and support those guys. They're really good. And had Drew on my podcast. He's one of the best guys in the world. Man, this is delicious. Oh, yeah. And Keith today at Southern Spirits, when we were there, turned me on to this bottle, and it is super delicious. And I'm going to have to drink some more.
What proof is this?
On this one, you're drinking a different one now. The other one is, I think, right here. Go back. Nope. Go back. Yep, right there. I'm over here not paying attention. But yeah, the one that we just drank, this is a 80 proof.
Okay.
So it's not super, super strong. But it's very delicious. I can tell the French oak, like it's got a little bit of a wine taste to it. Mm-hmm. Is that what you taste?
Yeah, but a little with a little mild bite.
It's got a little bite.
Yeah.
But I can almost like you said maple and honey.
Yeah, it's like it's sweet, smooth, at first, and then then it comes in like.
Then it hits you.
Yeah.
It was funny because I think Keith called it a ping pong ball. He said it has kind of it kind of has a ping pong ball. It goes ping pong, bong,
yeah.
like you get one taste and then all of a sudden you get another taste.
Yeah,
that's pretty hot. So when we were off the air, you were turning around telling me that your favorite drink is a Long Island iced tea, but instead of Coke, you put cranberry in there.
It's called a Long Beach.
It's called a Long Beach.
Yep.
Gotcha. And what's all in that? I don't even know.
I don't either. It's like 5 different liquors, I found it on a cruise.
It's tasty.
Yeah. By the end of the cruise, they were calling me Long Beach because I get like 10 a day.
10 a day?
Yeah, I spent like a $1,000 in there.
Yeah. Cruise is $394 this week only. If you book your cruise on Carnival Cruise or any of the cruise lines, it's $394, but it doesn't include anything except the room. Now, if you want food, it's $99 a day. And if you want liquor, it's another $100 a day. And next thing you know, you spent $3,000 on your cruise. Cruises, man. I went on one cruise. It was amazing. It was a great experience. And the only thing great about it is my phone didn't work. And I literally could go eat anytime I wanted.
Oh, yeah.
I could go sit by the pool pretty much anytime I wanted.
Yeah, buffet was always open.
And I think I slept more on that cruise than I've slept in probably my entire life. I would go eat, come back, take a nap. And get up, go to the pool, come back, take a nap.
Oh, yeah,
get up, go eat dinner, come back, take a nap.
Yeah, I think I gained like 20 pounds, and it was only a 7-day cruise.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But when I did go, I was like, man, if I was to go back, I was like, I know I probably would have worked on a cruise ship for like when I was 19, just to travel the world.
Yeah.
And, just see, I had a good sight then,
Yeah, we went to the gym. It was in kind of a basement type. It was in the back of the boat. Mm-hmm. And we were in the gym one day, and it was a nice gym. It was beautiful. And I was sitting there working out, and all I could smell was like cigarette smoke. And I was sitting there like getting very disturbed, like trying to work out. I'm like, where the freaking hell is all this cigarette smoke? I asked one of the ladies that worked there, and she goes, right behind here is the cruise break room. So right literally behind the doors was the break room for all the cruise workers. Okay. And that's where all the and the thing is, I don't know if you said you've been to Japan and some other countries. But in other countries, they smoke cigarettes like we did back in the 70s. And it's everywhere. And when you go on a cruise, and a lot of the people that work on cruises are from other countries. Yeah. And so they smoke cigarettes like chain smoke. Has that been your experience at all when you went out of the country to see people smoke cigarettes?
It was more recent. I mean, for one, the gym was up on like floor 10. It was up there high, like by the spa and stuff like that. So there was no smoking over there. And then I think, actually, I don't even remember cigarette smoke for the most part.
Yeah, but it wasn't the cigarette smoke that the staff, or like the people that were on the boat. It was the staff that worked on the boat. It was the workers. And right behind the gym and the spa and all that was a room that was the break room for the workers. And they were back there smoking in there. Yeah, gotcha. And it was coming through the doors, coming through the walls, and you could kind of smell that radiant smell from like another, like it was literally a ways away, but it was lingering in.
Yeah, no, I didn't experience that.
You didn't experience that?
Yeah, I had a good experience.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of smoking cigarettes, man. I've never smoked cigarettes, never will. My mom used to smoke when I was young, and I used to throw all of her cigarettes away. Like every time she'd buy a pack of cigarettes and she'd buy a carton, I would like take 3 or 4 out and like hide them or throw them away. And then she would turn around and my dad would be like, listen, it's getting expensive to keep buying all these cigarettes. And he's like, well, your son keeps throwing them all away. He goes, will you stop smoking or either find better hiding spots? That's what my dad said to my mom. And then my mom eventually quit smoking. And I was in the car and she used to smoke and it would even with the window cracked, it would blow smoke back into the back seat. And I would just sit there and be like coughing. And
ash too.
Yeah, and ashes. It was disgusting.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand it's a bad habit, but, you know.
Yeah, I smoked for like 10 years.
You did?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I quit right before I turned 30.
Well, congratulations.
Cold turkey.
I've never smoked, man. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
My mom, I think, ruined me when I was a kid. And I was like, I was
Well, that's a
coughing,
good thing,
being disgusting. I'm like, so now cigarette
Yeah, I
smokers.
never got the smoker's cough or anything like that. And even when I stopped, I didn't have to hawk up that phlegm or anything like, or the tar or anything.
What about
I was
marijuana?
good.
What do you think about marijuana?
I mean, it helps aids in recovery, you know?
You like smoking marijuana?
I mean,
it's open now. I mean, I have a friend of mine that I had on the air from Cannabis King, Dan and Mike, and they run a big Crown Town cannabis store here in Charlotte, and they both used to live in other states that were open for marijuana. They knew more about marijuana than, I mean, you know how you would get a guy on that's like a wine connoisseur that knows everything about wine. These guys know everything. I mean, the strand, where it's made, how you hibernate it, how'd you do this, how much THC. It's incredible, the knowledge that these guys had and the benefits. That
right
a lot
for High Times magazine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it seems to be more mainstream. I think in the next couple of years, I think marijuana is going to be widely open, just like whiskey and
I think North Carolina probably be last though.
You think so?
Yeah.
North Carolina's kind of an odd state. New York, Boston, Chicago, all the big cities like California, all that stuff.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
Colorado.
Yeah, it's coming though.
Yeah, but speaking about cigarettes though, like I was just in Vegas like last month, and that was the first place I really actually seen you being able to smoke cigarettes inside,
right?
Like in the casino.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I was in the Sahara resort, and I mean their filtration system was amazing. Like I walked through the casino, I'm like, damn, secondhand smoke, and then I stepped right to the bar, and it's just like, and it's still open area right there, nothing.
Really?
Yeah, nothing.
That's amazing.
Couldn't even tell it 5 feet away, and they're smoking.
Well, I'm going to Vegas next week.
All right.
And I'll be staying at the Aria, and I got to go for a SEMA show, which is an automotive show. Mm-hmm. And I will test your theory to see how good it is.
I will check out Cookies on the Strip.
Cookies on the Strip?
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, marathon. When's your next marathon?
December 4th.
December 4th. Where's that?
Sacramento.
Yeah. 26.2 miles. And what are you hoping to make your time? What are you hoping to get your time down to?
I would like to go sub 3, but right now I'm shooting right at 3:03.
So right around 3 hours.
Yeah, right around. Yeah, somewhere around there.
And
6:52.
If you
pace.
take all the people that run marathons across the country, mm-hmm. and you put them in a pool of like say 1,000 people that run marathons all over the country, where's 3 hours? Where does that stand?
It's in the front end still.
It's still in the front?
Yeah. I think for like the average marathon, like for a male, it's somewhere between a 3:30 and like a 4:16 is like the average male pace. Something like that.
So literally almost 4 hours.
Basically.
And you're almost an hour faster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man. You said you've been starting since 2016?
Yeah.
And then you've been running.
I ran my first marathon in 2017.
2017.
Yeah, I ran the Charlotte Marathon.
And then how many do you try to do a year?
Well, right now I'm trying to narrow it down due to the fact that, I want to try for the Paralympics and things like that. So it's more shorter distances. But let me see, probably about 3 to 4. I've been running a year, but I'm gonna chop it down next year because I qualified for Boston this year, so I am running Boston. I did throw my hat in for Tokyo and London, but I didn't get in those. So through the lottery, it was random. But so right as of now, after Boston, I'm going strictly back to speed. So I'll be starting back over. Just going to start racing 5Ks through the summer.
How often do you run?
Every day.
You run every day?
For the most part, every now and again I take a day off and cross train. But
where do you run?
Mainly I've been on the treadmill. If I can't get out, then I'm on the treadmill.
You have a treadmill at home?
Yeah, I go through a treadmill a year. I guess they're not. they don't make them. They don't make them actually get ran on.
Micah, he goes through a treadmill a year.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, let's think about that just for
how many miles you run on that treadmill a year?
About 2,000.
2,000 miles.
The longest I've done at one time was 50 miles.
You ran for 50 miles straight?
Yep, on the treadmill.
On the treadmill.
Yep.
50 miles.
On the treadmill. Most runners don't like to run 5 miles on the treadmill.
Not even 3 miles on the treadmill.
Because it's so boring.
And you ran 50 miles on the treadmill.
Yeah, I was training for my first 100, so.
Do you think that's a Guinness World Record?
No.
But did you hear what he just said? He was training for his first 100-mile race.
Yeah. Talk
about that.
Yeah, tell me about a 100-mile race.
First 100 miles was in Vermont back in 2019. And, I was training. I did all my training on the treadmill. I didn't actually get out at all that year. And so I was well trained, for distance, and of course the monotonous of running on a treadmill for 50 miles, but I was not heat acclimated. And when I got to Vermont, surprisingly, it was 106.
Holy
in
Jesus.
Vermont heat index.
I can't even walk outside 106. You're
so,
running 100 miles?
Yeah, and so I, took off and was doing pretty good, felt pretty good and everything like that. But somewhere between mile 15 and mile 30, I kicked a rock and actually broke my big toe.
No way.
Yeah, but it didn't really start phasing me until like mile 59, somewhere like that. And the heat was the only thing that was getting me. And so I really couldn't hold down food or anything like that, but just kept moving forward. I had a lot of people that had came up that I didn't, I just met them, as, they're coming up to help me. We just talked via online and things like that. But so I kind of felt bad, driving up from New Jersey to come help me crew, and and not, just driving up for nothing. So I just kept pushing forward, and every time I'd stop, it would seize up. But then I'd start running again, be hobbling. And, a couple minutes later, it'd just go numb and just start running again. But I beat the cutoff barrier, So I finished my first 129 hours in 6 minutes.
With a broken toe.
With a broken toe.
You went and were heat deprived, dehydrated.
Yeah.
And you 29 hours you ran.
Constantly going, yeah. And then so I went and got it checked, put me in the boot. I knew I had another 100 in September. And so I was like, okay, I can't stay in this boot. So I took off a week or whatnot. And then I ended up taping my big toe to my index toe. And then I would still run on the treadmill to try to keep my endurance up. And I got out the boot midway through August. Well, it was one of the last weeks in August, and I had signed up for the Omaha Marathon. It was on the 12th or something that year of 2019, and so I got out there and ran that for my last long run. And on the 27th, I went and ran the Yeti 100 in Virginia and ran sub 24. So I shot called the day before. It's you shot call it there. You sit up there and tell them, I'm going sub 24. So if you go sub 24, you get 2 belt buckles. They get these big, huge belt buckles like that, And so, and if you don't go sub 24, then you get nothing.
And you got them.
Yeah, I got them.
You got some belt buckles.
Yeah, I got 2 big-ass belt buckles.
I love it. Yeah. You're a champion, man.
I try to be.
I mean, how many
try
people...
to live up to my name.
But how many people look up to you? You have a lot of big followers? You have a fan club?
Nah, because I'm not that hot on social media.
You're not on social media?
I mean, I'm on there, but I'm not on there
But you're probably one of the guys that people secretly talk about,
Yeah, maybe. I'm probably more bad than good,
No, they're like, man, he's here. Oh, he can't even see, and he's whooping our ass.
Yeah, I like being in races, and I'll be running, and then someone will come up beside me. All of a sudden I can hear them because they're breathing, so they'd turn and look at me, and then they'd turn back and keep running, and then they'll do a second take and look at me again. Then then I just I notice it, so I'm like, okay, and I pick it up a little bit
because you hear the breathing.
Yeah, I can.
The guy went from breathing forward to now turning.
Yeah, turning, and facing me, and then so they try to stick with me, and then I'm like, why are you trying to stick with my pace? Just run your pace, run your race. But it's sometimes fun. Sometimes I play with people and speed up on them, and other times I'm just like, hey.
Now, did your other senses improve when you lost your eyesight?
No, it's the deal is that I just use them more. I rely on them, so I'm aware of them a little bit more. It's not that they're heightened or anything like that.
Do you think you actually hear a lot better?
No, I just use my hearing to see.
Right. And touch.
Yeah.
Touch and hearing.
Yeah.
Now, if I come right into your face and I'm right there nose to nose, you'll just feel me.
You
would just sense me.
Yeah, if I be running, I get close to a tree, I can feel it, or a brick wall. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
I'm running and things like that.
Okay. How often do you fall?
I don't really fall that often.
No.
I have fallen, but I don't really fall that often. I ran the last 100, didn't fall at all.
As far as getting around, like Charlotte, like take me through some of your difficulties, like some of the difficulties, like for getting around and transportation and things like that.
Transportation just be getting there on time. I Uber. I use the cab service and special transportation, and family members and things like that, friends.
So when you text and talk on the phone, do you have certain braille on your phone?
No. I got a voiceover. I went blind at the right time. I got talk back features, so my TV talks to me. My phone talks to me. Everything.
Michael, what would you do if you lost your eyesight, man? I mean, seriously, could you make it through the day? Like I'm just like walking to the bathroom and like memorizing. Like when I go home tonight, I'm actually like close my eyes and just try to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I tried doing that before I lost my sight. I had to get ready for it.
You did?
I messed around and kicked the wall with my pinky toe, and I was like, oh, Lord.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking a lot of people, I would say a majority of people don't run and they can see perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But like what was like the major obstacle that you came across starting your like running career?
I guess it has to be finding guides, trying to get outside. Because I prefer to be outside. You get a better workout. It makes the time go by better. It makes it a lot funner.
Right. Yeah.
And so
that treadmill. So where do you buy treadmills? You need to be sponsored by a treadmill company.
I need to. I'm trying to get Peloton because I heard they got a talkback capability in their treadmill now. Because now we're going through NordicTrack. I went through 2 treadmills with NordicTrack. They didn't honor their warranty.
They did not.
No, they did not.
All right. So if you're listening to the podcast today, we're not supporting NordicTrack.
And then I went with Proform for my last 2 treadmills.
The Proforms are good.
Oh yeah. And they've been real good. It's just I can't find one that goes up to 12 miles per hour that still has manual buttons. They're mostly all touch screens now. And so now what I have to do is I have to call somebody, which is usually my girlfriend, and on Facebook, and she will look, and I got felts. I use a lot of felts on things, but I have a felt on the screen, so I'll press. I have to press like 3 buttons to get it turned on. So it's like I can't just wake up in the night and want to go run. I can't do that right now. So that's putting a damper on some training. But like even for instance this morning, she got up at 3:20 to turn my treadmill on for me, and so I can go run. And so it's just things like that. But like I say,
at 3:20 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're listening to this podcast, here's a guy that has, I guess, what you would consider a handicap, right? Is that how you consider it? How do you consider your eyesight going blind? I mean, how do you say that? Is this a handicap? Is this a?
It is a handicap, but
okay.
It's
So disability.
Yeah.
So we have a disability, right? You're up at 3:20 in the morning, running on a treadmill, like improving yourself, your mind, your energy. You're doing things. You're living life better than 99.9% of the world by putting yourself first and doing the things that you love. That's incredible, man. I can't even get friends of mine to wake up at 8, 9 in the morning. Like, oh, hello, what's up, man? I'm at the gym about 6:30 every morning. I wake up about 5:30 and have a little pre-morning routine, get up, put some deodorant on, find my tank top or whatever I'm going to wear to the gym, get the car heated up now. It's starting to get a little cold in the morning.
Yeah.
So I do the auto feature. I wait about 10 minutes. I go make me a little pre-workout shake, take about 3 or 4 sips. I see if it kicks in, if I got to go to the bathroom before I go to the gym. So I'm always that little 15 to 30 minute window. It's like, I'm going to wait a few minutes, So it might be 6 to 6:30 before I show up. But I love going to the gym every morning, man. Starting your day off, just rebooting and putting yourself first. Is it selfish to put yourself first?
I don't think so. Not all the time,
I don't think so either. I mean, so many people are like, do you live a selfish life? And what does selfish mean? That if you don't like you, who will?
Yeah,
Right?
You gotta love yourself.
You gotta love yourself, man. You know, you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you start saying, oh, man, I hate myself.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're going to start thinking you hate yourself. Then everyone around you is going to start hating you.
Yeah, you're going to be the downer that brings everybody else down.
Yeah, and be like, oh, I love Mike, man, but he's in a bad area. I don't really need him around right now.
Yeah, I try to motivate, but I'm not the best at it, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, everybody says, I can't do this, I can't do this. That's just an excuse.
Have you ever mentored anyone that lost their eyesight?
I try.
You have?
I mean, I try, you know, but, you know, you have to have the dedication. I try to keep people on a positive note because, I mean, being blind sucks, you know what I mean? But it's not the end of the world. So
I mean, you look good. You're healthy.
I try.
And you're a good-looking guy. I mean,
appreciate
who
it.
shaves you, man? You look like you're kind of clean on the tightness
Yeah, I
of
mean,
it.
if I knew I was gonna be on tape, I would have fixed up this. But I use my hand. You know what I mean? I use my hand to get the trimmer and come
you
down.
still look tight.
You know, I had to do that, but you know.
I mean, what's on your head? You got like a little
Got a do-rag on right now.
do-rag?
Yeah.
Is it bald or you got some hair up there?
I got a little bit, a little something.
I shave
but
mine.
I shave mine bald most of the time, like for racing, things like that.
Keep it clean.
Oh, yeah.
You shave your body too?
Nah, I just don't grow hair. I got like 8 chest hairs, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, right on.
Yeah.
That's cool. What do you eat? Like a diet. Take me through a diet plan. Like if you're training and you've got to be eating a lot. If you're burning that much, running that much, training that hard, what's your diet look like?
I mean, I eat lean a lot, you know.
What's lean to you?
Like for instance, this week I'm not even doing carbs for the most part. You know, I just doing like lean meats, like you know, chicken, turkey, and fish, and then vegetables. You know, because like I said, I got a race coming up. I fell off when I went up to the mountains last week, and I really didn't get to run. And so I kind of threw a week of training off. You know, I was hiking, getting out there and things like that, but I couldn't get the pace I wanted going. You know, they didn't have a gym. And then this past weekend I went down to Houston for a Welcome to Running camp that Catapult had put on. And so, you know, went down there, got some fundamentals, you know, met a lot of other people that, you know, trying to do good, trying to do right, trying to run and things like that. You know, they're mostly into triathlons and things like that. But, you know, got some few pointers here and there, you know. Hoka came out and, you know, sponsored us athletes with some shoes and UFOs, gave us some recovery slides and things like that. The yoga instructor came out and nutritionist. So, you know, got some pointers and some tips and, you know, hung out with a lot of cool people.
How many calories do you think you bring in when you're training this hard?
I mean, I still keep my calories about the same. I actually try to train my body without taking in all the extra calories. I take in what I need, but I basically do my long runs with no nutrition. I just might do some water. So then when I'm actually in a race, my body's like, oh shit, okay, food, you know what I mean, nutrition. So I run better. Seems to work for me. I end up being able to, you know, negative split and things like that. So.
Who taught you all that?
It's just, you know, trial and error.
You just like.
I mean, I read a lot of books. You know, I take constructive criticism from people. You know, I mean, I listen to people, and I just, you know, I try out a whole bunch of different things.
If you were getting started and you're like a beginner runner and you've been running for maybe a year, but you haven't really done a 5K, you haven't really done a marathon, you haven't done a triathlon, but you're eager to want to get better at running, what advice could you give someone that likes to run?
I mean, get out there, you know, get you a good pair of shoes and make sure you just focus on your form.
How important is stretching?
It depends. A lot of people stretch wrong. Like static stretching, like just bending over, trying to touch your toes and stuff like that. You don't do that. You'd want to do like some dynamic stretching at first, you know, to warm up the muscles, like, you know, high knees, butt kicks, you know, just leg swings and things like that, just to get your body warmed up. And then you go do your workout. And then after it, you can stretch. But you don't never stretch cold.
Everyone forgets to stretch after.
Yeah, that's the best time.
That's you're loose and you're hot and you're warm.
Yeah. You know, because you don't want to stretch cold. You have a high tendency to, you know, a high possibility of tearing something.
Right.
And, you know, causing some damage. But
right.
Yeah.
So we got to get warm first. Mm-hmm. Work, you know, do, what's it called? You said dynamic?
Dynamic stretching.
Dynamic stretching. Yeah. And then maybe do the other type of stretching after you've already.
Yeah. You don't even have to do it right after workout. You can do it later on that day, you know.
Right on.
But, yeah, you know.
How's your hydration? Do you take in like sea salt, or do you take any kind of salts or supplements for that?
I mean, hydration. I drink about a gallon of water a day on the minimum. And then, you know, summertime, of course, more.
Right.
But yeah, I try to get that in. I try to keep my electrolyte balance right. Depending on after workout, I try to, I always weigh myself. I'm like, I'm crazy about that. I might weigh myself like 5 times a day. Now I don't let it, deter me or anything like that, but I just try to be aware of what I eat, how it affects my body. When I'll weigh myself before I go run, then I'll go run and I weigh myself, after I hop out the shower and see how much, sweat I lost, and I'll make sure to put that back.
That's important.
So
how many people forget to do that, you think?
A lot. Yeah.
So I finished mine. You got to get yours finished on the tequila. You got it's right ahead of you.
One?
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball here, brother.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you got to catch up.
You got me talking, man.
Yeah, we got to do some drinking too, bro. This is just 2 buddies hanging out, getting to know each other a little bit out here at the bar. Go ahead.
All right.
Our guest speaker would like to chime in.
So you mentioned a little while ago, Eric, that you're shooting for the Paralympics.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the obstacles in the way of that? How do you find guides that are fast enough to run with you?
It's putting a damper on my training, but I have the guides, I have that, but it's the access, like to a track, I actually use the local middle school that's kind of close by me, but I don't know their schedule, and so if they have a function going on, like a football game or something like that, I can't use the track.
Right.
So it's like finding a facility to be able to train, and also just finding more guides, because a lot of people are. Hold on. Okay. A lot of people are doing their own thing. It's not like someone is going to devote all their time to helping me meet my goals. Everybody has their own goals.
Let me ask you a question. I'm pretty good on a mountain bike.
Mm-hmm. Check this out.
I can ride a mountain bike really good. Mm-hmm. But could I put a string on me at a track riding a mountain bike and you run behind me?
No, I wouldn't even do it like that. I actually kind of taught my daughter how to drive like this. What we do is I get my tether, I have a lasso tether,
okay,
and I put it on the right handlebar of hers, and we go on the track. And there was people on the track with, strollers and dogs and stuff like that. I put some headphones on, kind of like the ones I have on. I turn my music, crank it all the way up, and I just take off. And so she had to maneuver around the people with me not knowing what's going on. So then, if I felt the tether getting loose, then I knew that she was coming to the right. So then I start going to the right. When it gets taut, I would hold my position. And, I can't go too far to the left because my leg will get tore up by the pedal. But it works, yeah. So if I could get somebody to get on a bike and ride around the track with me, then I can get my speed work in, yes.
I can ride a bike.
Hey, I'm always looking for guys, you know what I mean?
Hey, Audrey, we got to get the bikes out.
I'm in.
I'll do 5 miles if you do 5 miles. But how many miles how much is training though?
If I was doing a tempo run, I might do about 10. So,
yeah, so we could do
like
5
sub-7 paces.
We'd almost switch.
Yeah, you don't have to stand up and try to go get it unless I'm sprinting.
What kind of pace are you like?
I would go sub-7, just tempo,
But how fast is that in miles per hour?
That is about 8.6.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
On a mountain bike.
Yeah.
You can do the whole 10.
I could do the whole 10.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And if we're doing intervals, then you might get up to,
Mike,
10, 12 miles an hour. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we video this?
Yeah, we could get some shots of it.
I think it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I think the world needs to see this. I have social media and all these types of things. I'd like to put you out there, man.
All right, well, I'm going to add you.
What?
I said I'll add you.
No, I'm definitely in. I think the world needs to hear more stories like this. I mean, the world's starving for positive influences and helping each other. Mm-hmm. We're in a society that we need to all get and join forces to help each other.
Oh yeah.
You've got some strengths that, man, there's no way. Even at my prime when I was 18, could I even run at half what you do? Not even half. I don't even think maybe a fraction. So I'm just sitting here in my mind thinking, this dude, man, killing it. The world needs to see this. You need to get some sponsors, man.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to get my social media up. I just made an Instagram just like a month ago.
Micah, he just made an Instagram, bro. We got to get you some TikToks, man.
Oh, yeah.
And if we do some TikToks.
I just bought 2 selfie sticks,
You did?
I mean? Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. If we do a TikTok, we've got to go out here how to teach a blind man how to run. And we got to do like the first 5 like videos as like you stumbling and being like Rocky, where you get beat down and then you fall over, and then all of a sudden you're like running a little bit, and then you run a little better, and you see us like progress.
Oh yeah.
And then we got to show everybody like you're struggling at first.
You missed the one at Stevens. I wished everything that it would have got recorded. I was like probably like 10 beers in, and then I go to run this single track technical trail, and I got a beer in my hand running. You know what I mean,
Micah? We could have some fun with that.
I flew off a bridge. And I just dropped the tether because I wasn't going to take my guide with me. And I just, bam, tore my whole ribs and whole side up. I just landed on this embankment. But it was the perfect video.
Oh, man. You still see it in your head.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I still
crazy.
feel it, too.
Micah, we got to do something, man. We got to give back. I'm always a big fan of giving back. And giving back to someone who is going to do something positive with what we give. And, the world, I know not a ton of people are going to see this podcast, but the people that read it or listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube, I mean, you're an inspiration, man. I mean, people need to know who you are.
I appreciate that.
How many blind people do what you do?
We got a small community.
Small community.
Yeah, we got a small community. I say, I give us about 100. Maybe 5 at the most. I don't know.
In what, Charlotte or the U.S.?
I'm thinking like U.S. At least the ones that I know. I mean, I'm sure there's more around.
How many do you know personally?
In Charlotte area?
Just in the world. You've raced all over, Boston, all these different races. How many do you know that are blind that race?
About 75 to 100, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah.
There's that many.
Yeah, we got forums and things like that. We got groups.
There's
and
75
stuff like
to 100 people in the world
that I know.
That there's probably more than that.
No, there's way more than that.
Right. But how many are running at the speed that you're running?
About 10, 15, maybe. And I don't know about the Paralympics. I don't know about that level, but as the ones I know, about 15 and pretty good.
So out of 75 to 100 people, you're the top 10, top 15.
Yeah, I give myself. I'm top 10.
You're top 10.
Yeah, I'm top 10.
You'll be number 1, right?
Working on it,
Just need another treadmill.
Get you out there on the bike, then
So what's so special about the Peloton? They have a treadmill now?
Yeah, they got a treadmill with talkback capabilities.
Okay.
And
so you can say go to level 12 and it'll...
Yeah, I can actually get on there and program a workout with on my own, and then they talk to me to tell me my pace, my cadence, so I can actually calibrate my watch accurately. Right now I go off time, and so it's all mental. And so, because I want my treadmill to be on the same pace as my watch, my Garmin.
Right.
But, so then different treadmills, over time, the treadmill's not moving at the same. So it's like, you could say you're running at an 8-minute pace, but, your belt could be running slow and you're running like, at 7 minutes, so you don't know. But,
treadmills are not 100% accurate.
That's true. I just work on, I just throw the incline on and I just go.
How much is that treadmill?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked it up, but I'm pretty sure a couple thousand.
Couple $1,000?
Yeah, probably.
How much
like
are the treadmills that you normally buy?
Anywhere between $800 and $1,500.
And they last a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's with the warranty.
Man, I'm telling you.
The treadmill is probably like $1,000.
Think about the social media value that Peloton could have if we would shoot a little promo video and get you. Do you have these old treadmills that you've had to get rid of?
I got one sitting outside my house right now. I got to call the city to pick it up. I got the one I'm working with now. I got pretty smart about mine now. What I do is I get a trash bag and I zip it. I have a headband, and so I put it over the whole dashboard, and I drape a towel over it because I've sweated a couple treadmills out, and then in the summertime, things like that, and I just sweat profusely. So it's just, I put them out like that, then I tore the belts up, I corroded motors from the sweat hitting the motor and things like that. They're just
things you would never think about.
Yeah, things that, a lot of people don't do when you run like 2-3 miles on a treadmill, most people, I know a lot of people use the treadmill for like a clothes rack, it's like, so I'm like, I need to get a job just going out and testing out treadmills for companies, you know what I mean?
Micah, there's something we can do. We've got to do a little video or some kind of promo and send this to Peloton and say, come on, guys. We got a guy right now you could sponsor. All he wants is a treadmill.
Yeah, my treadmill now, it'll run, but it'll cut off on me. You know what I mean? Like abruptly out of nowhere, like it'll just stop.
Do you fall?
No, because I have to hold on with at least 2 fingers.
Okay.
So I'm pretty good with. I'll slip, but I've never fallen.
That's good.
You know.
Now,
What do you do when you run for that period of time on a treadmill?
What do you mean?
Like,
I
you
listen,
just
like
listen
what I
to
listen to? Yeah, I listen to music, listen to podcasts. I watch movies, and sometimes, I put a show on, and I read books, like Audible
books.
Yeah. So,
For 29 hours you ran.
I ran, yeah. That's a little different. I'm like, I got different guys, so they get to, it's good when I find a guy that, I never met. Because then, I could just like, tell me about yourself and just sit back and just chill. But, yeah.
You pretty quiet? You pretty shy guy? Or you?
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're doing a pretty good job right now, though.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
If people listening had a question for you and you could answer, what's been like the number 1 or 2 questions to you that you answer on a repetitive time? Like when you get around people that you don't know, you meet for the first time, and people ask you the top 3 questions. What are those top 3 questions that are constantly asked of you?
How do you do what you do? How is it being blind? And how do you use your phone?
I was curious. I'm sitting there like, how do you use your phone, right? Yeah. And I didn't realize that. Oh, you talk to it, right?
Yeah.
Call Mike.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, you need like a Siri in your treadmill. So that's basically what Peloton has is like, it can operate just by your voice.
Yeah, yeah. Or no, what it does is like talk back. So it's like whatever I put my finger on a button, it'll tell me what that button is.
Oh, gotcha.
If I scroll, I can swipe and things like that, and it just read everything off. So
that's what's up.
I think it'd be cool to have like some kind of Siri function to where you could like tell it like, hey, Peloton, turn on, something like that.
Oh yeah, speed up.
Yeah, speed up.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was sitting there
that's
like,
what I thought you meant too.
I was like, level 12, let's go.
Oh yeah. Stop,
That Peloton treadmill is $3,500.
$3,500.
I think we have a mission.
We have a mission.
We need to get him one of these.
We damn sure. Here's the thing. We need to test that warranty.
Oh yeah. I put in work on it.
So the thing is, we get a Peloton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you break it, then you get Pelotons free for life.
Oh, that'd work for me.
So what we need to do is put it through the test. Like, all right, we're going to test. We just need to test Peloton. Guys, we don't want to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
We just want to test it and see if we can break it. And we're going to basically get a GoPro. And every time that you run, we're going to GoPro you running on this treadmill. Right. And we're going to give the footage to Peloton and be like, look, we didn't touch it. We didn't do anything to it. Yeah. We used it.
Because I run the shit out of it.
You run the shit. Micah, how are we going to get him a Peloton, bro? We got to do a video, send it to him, constantly send Peloton like emails every day.
Yeah, I think definitely has some potential.
We got to go.
And you're with running is like sponsorship. Is that something that you need to like get to the next level? Because I know some sports.
It's really expensive. It's expensive.
Yeah.
For travel and things like that, and being blind, I can't go out and work get $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? I'm like limited, so it's
I mean, your job's a good job, but it pays the bills. But that's about it.
Yeah. Right. And so, like I said, I get help here and there, but sponsorship.
And you have a daughter?
Yep.
How old is she?
16.
16.
Yeah.
Wow, she's driving. You just said you taught her how to drive.
Yeah. And so,
you taught her how to drive.
Well, I'm not saying I'm the only one, you know what I mean? But I do feel I helped.
That's cool. And you said there was a technique you said when you were teaching her how to drive. What was that again?
Yeah, well, on the bike with the tether, and maneuvering around people and obstacles without me being able to know what's going on, period. So she had to be able to look up ahead, see, okay, they're in lanes 2 and 3. I got to get both of us over there and, in this amount of time. So it's like switching lanes, stopping, slowing up, things like that. And then I'm the only one that was comfortable, getting in the car with her, you know what I mean? So,
does she run?
Yeah, she this past year she's got on it. Yeah,
she is.
Yeah,
she on the track team.
No, she's on the track team. Yeah, she's basketball.
She's basketball.
Yeah,
I got you. Is this your only child?
Yeah,
a 16-year-old daughter. What's her name?
Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Michael, you got any questions for my man over here?
So what's the next steps for your career and everything? What's
Just
the
getting
plan?
faster.
Just get faster.
Getting
But
faster.
when you say your goal is to get to the Paral
Yeah, I want to go to Paris.
Paris.
Which is 2024.
2024, and what's there?
Hopefully me, you know what I mean?
But what event was it?
See, as of right now, I'm going for everything. Like I haven't narrowed it down because when I go to the trials, you know, I'm going there. I'm trying out for everything from 100 to, you know, marathon. But whatever my best event or whatever other best shot is, what I'll focus on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What he's talking about is the Paralympics. This is the Olympics for disabled athletes. So
Okay.
like amputees, blind, anybody that has some sort of a physical disability that
They
keeps
have
them
their own
from
classification.
possibly being competitive with
So do you run?
able-bodied athletes.
Do you run against people that have one leg?
No, I'd only run against people in my division.
And what division is that? How do they classify that?
I am a T11/B1, you know, and T11/B1, it depends on who you ask or what, you know, what you're going to, is blind with no usable sight. Then they have a T12, sorry, and a B2, which are the same. And those are visually impaired. Now, you can see, you know, but you might still need a guide. And then you have a T13/B3 who's technically, you know, visually impaired, but they can see good enough to run by themselves. So that those different categories, so then you're racing against people in your division, so it's fair. And they break it down like that.
So how many people do you run against on a normal basis? Like if you were going to compete there?
Only on that level is the only one that breaks it down that narrow. Like for instance, with the national championships at, you know, CIM, they have the first top 3 that come through. They you know, they take the prize money, they take the purse. But it's still it's also broke down into each category. So it's like, you know, they have all the B1s, all the B2s, all the B3s. They have their own ranking within them, you know, as well. But on the on the Olympic level, it's like, you know, all around the world, you're only running against people in your division. But like, for instance, Boston has a T11, T12, and so they're categorized in the same. So I'm racing against T11 and T12, which I took second this year in Boston.
Second in Boston.
In Boston, yeah.
And that's awesome. How many people did you compete against, do you know?
I'm not sure. It might have been like, because you had to run a specific time to make it to the para-athlete division. There's like, they have the mobility impaired division for Boston, which, you know, so that would be like, you had to run like a 5-hour, sub 5-hour marathon, something like that. And then for the para-athlete division, you have to run under a 350. And then I think I ran against 10 people this year.
That's what's up. Cool. We got to get him a Peloton, Micah. And we got to have one more drink. So we've got a Casa Nobla. No, was it Casa Noble? And this is a tequila. It's on a single barrel agave, and it's nothing special to it. But I picked it up at the Southern Spirits, and I wanted to give it a shake. And yours is right in front of you. I'll take the other glass, and you got one glass.
All right.
I'm gonna give you a cheers. There you go, my friend.
All right.
A little spicy.
Yeah.
A little spicy, not as smooth as the other one.
Tastes almost like a cognac almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's good though.
Strong. What's the proof on this one? I can't see. My eyes are bad.
It's on the front. I think that one's like 102. Top
Is it?
of the label on the front.
Top of the label.
Say Google it.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it does. It says 102. Yeah, it's right here in the little ribbon. 102 barrel proof.
It's at 51%.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely got a little bit of a burn to it.
Oh yeah.
So good. So do you run in the winter?
Oh yeah. I got Renard, so it sucks for me to run in the winter, but I still do it.
Still get up and run outside?
Mm-hmm.
Do your guides get a little bit like strenuous? Like not strenuous, but they you don't have as many guides when it becomes wintertime?
Yeah, a lot of people do kind of tap out in the winter, but you know, I still get out there. Group runs, still people come out, you know.
Right. There's a lot of 5Ks though.
Oh yeah, that's right. In Charlotte, Charlotte's a great running community.
Right.
You know, it's like a 5K every weekend.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You know?
I mean, there's one all the time.
Yeah.
Do you do most of those, or do you do a lot of them?
I haven't lately. It's like, got to pay to get in that race, pay to get in this race, got to go here, go there. But I will be doing more 5Ks after Boston.
How much is a 5K?
Depends on when you sign up, but usually about $35 plus processing, so like $40, like 39 some change, something like that.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
No.
So when you compete in a marathon, what's it cost you?
Anywhere between 90 and 300.
So as far as like prize money, do you win anything?
Certain races, yeah. I won prize money in Boston this year.
How much?
$750.
$750?
Yeah.
So it covered basically your travel.
Yeah, actually, I was sponsored then with Achilles International, so it paid for my flight. So I had a little extra spending money after that one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Micah, we got to figure out how to get a Peloton, but we've got to do some cool TikTok videos, some Instagram. Do you need help with your social media a little bit?
Yeah, if I can have someone to help me run it, then it'd be
I got
amazing.
a couple of young kids that my son is friends with that I could possibly ask them to maybe help you
I'm sure
out.
they can get some college credit if they're in school,
Yeah, one kid just graduated high school and he's working on doing some social media stuff. He just did a little couple things for me with Sunstoppers, and he's looking to build his portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I could probably pass him along to you and maybe go do a couple things, get you started.
Oh, yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
I need to make a TikTok account. I don't have one of those.
Yeah, we got to get you on TikTok.
And maybe a YouTube channel, yeah.
YouTube down the road.
Yeah,
YouTube's down the road, but TikTok has got a huge, if you're going to go and do crazy stuff on YouTube, like running, literally, if you time-lapsed you running for like 5 hours or something, or 7 hours, like a marathon on your treadmill, and you did a treadmill and you like time-lapsed it and said, watch me run this treadmill, and you could watch it in, a minute.
Oh, yeah, speed it up. Yeah.
You speed it up where like, holy shit. Like, there's a lot of people, I would watch that. If I'm scrolling through at night or in between commercials, I'd be like, holy shit, this dude just ran for like fucking 5 hours.
I'm not doing any 5-hour runs anytime soon.
Right.
I still strictly marathon training and things like that. So
how
I do a
long
couple
do you
20-mile
run?
runs on there.
20 miles?
Yeah, 20 miles at the max on the treadmill right now. Sometimes I might have to hit 22.
Right.
But, lately I've just been doing 10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Yeah, 10 to 12.
Got it. But that's every day.
Yeah.
What happens to your treadmill breaks?
Then I have to jump rope for 3 hours. It sucks.
Jump rope.
Yeah.
So you've done that?
2 hours and 6 minutes, honestly.
You jumped rope for 2 hours and 6 minutes?
Yeah, straight. I can get that. I can beat that now, but it was just like, my feet would start hurting.
Straight?
Yeah.
You didn't stop?
Nah.
You used to think you were the champ for doing it for 10 minutes.
Holy Jesus.
Well, you do know 10 minutes is equal to 3 miles of running.
10 minutes
Straight
of jump rope.
roping is equivalent to 3 miles of running.
Where'd that formula come from?
I don't know, but you can look it up.
Micah, Google that. This dude's wrong. There's no way he's right. I'm just teasing, man. You probably are right. I'm just messing with you. That's incredible. That's the first. No, I'm just saying. In my entire athletic career, I did mixed martial arts. I jumped rope, and I was boxing and doing jiu-jitsu and mountain biking. And this is the first time. This is when people ask you, why do you do a podcast? Because you learn something new every damn time you get on one.
Oh yeah. I did a little kickboxing back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah.
You could probably whip my ass. You're probably quick as shit. You probably hit me
now,
6.
grappling on this shit.
You're really?
Yeah.
Grappling?
Can't get me grappling.
What?
Hands on. Yeah, hands on. I'm
Do you do any jiu-jitsu now?
Not lately. It's been a few years.
You want to roll?
Shoot, sometimes, yeah. That's
I'm
tough.
big, bro.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
You can handle a big boy?
Yeah.
I'm just teasing with you, man. I would love to roll with you, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
It's all Phil. It's chess.
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. The guys that smoke pot and do yoga that don't lift weights at all are like the best jiu-jitsu guys on the planet.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the people that, got all the muscles, they don't even know how to use them in the right way.
No clue.
Yeah.
I literally went in and rolled with Hoist Gracie.
Oh, yeah.
And this is probably, 15 years ago. I was rolling with him. I'm all jacked up in the gym, lifting weights. I'm over here thinking I'm muscling this dude. He is laughing his ass off. All the guys in the gym are over there like, get him, Mike, get him. And I'm over there holding his gi and this dude is one arm in me, one leg in me, laughing. Like, I'm literally exhausted, sweating into his face. Yeah. And it was like a minute, right? Yeah. And it was like maybe a minute, 10 seconds. And it was like all of a sudden I couldn't breathe.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? All the muscle in the world, but
people
you gotta know how to use
don't
it.
realize how long a minute is.
Oh, yeah.
Go wrestle somebody for a minute straight.
Oh, yeah.
The breathing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I bet you're breathing. You swim at all?
I swim like a rock, but I do try to get out there. You know what I mean?
But you can jump rope for 2 hours and how long?
2 hours 6 minutes. Well, that was just I stopped in because I was just worried.
I've got to GoPro this, bro.
Yeah.
We've got to TikTok that shit. Like, I swear to God, we're gonna do a YouTube video. Micah, what's the Guinness World Record for jumping rope?
Way longer than that.
It is?
Yeah.
No, it's
I'm not close to any Guinness Book World Records.
Get out of here.
I think the longest treadmill was like 24 hours on the treadmill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I think they do it for like the miles you get.
That dude was from Kenya or something.
I'm not sure. The weird thing on the Guinness Book of World Records is one guy who has a lot of them. Like, he just goes out and tries to beat all the Guinness Book of World Records. I mean,
How about that? I got a
can't
Guinness
remember
World
his name
Record.
right now.
I own a Guinness World Record.
For real?
Yeah, for real. It's no joke.
For
I got
what?
it. It's mounted up on the wall. I literally could take a picture of it and show it to you, but you wouldn't be able to see it. I'm just teasing you. But no, it's for window tinting. I was at a conference, and one of my sales reps had and I were talking. There was a guest speaker who had a Guinness World Record, and
Guinness World Record for jumping rope. Just guess. Just guess how long this guy jumped rope for.
Shit, 3 days.
Not quite.
I don't know.
33 hours.
Oh, shoot, almost a day and a half.
A guy jumped rope for how long?
33 hours and 20 minutes.
I wonder how long he took to train for it, though.
In Greensboro.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That close?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's incredible. All right, guys, if you jump rope for more than 10, so would you say 10 minutes of jump rope is like equal of how many miles?
3.
3 miles.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to run 3 miles, go jump rope for 10 minutes.
Yeah. It works consistent. Micah, you looked it up yet?
Is that true, Micah?
The jump rope.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I was talking about the jump rope.
no, when you jump rope for 10 minutes, is that equal to 3 miles?
Yeah, it says here. I mean, it varies, but it looks like 10 minutes of jumping rope is about an 8-minute mile.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's
But even if it was 10-minute miles, that's 30, you know what I mean?
But it's equivalent to 3 miles of running.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
This is saying 1 mile,
I'll say, okay.
but it's at an 8-minute pace.
8 minutes. Oh, okay. Well,
Okay, so
I have to fact check that.
we're fact checking
yeah.
it.
There's
All
a
right,
bunch
we'll
of
fact
numbers
check
here.
it.
There's a bunch of numbers there, but we're going to fact check it. But it's definitely, I know my MMA coaches used to say, bro, you want to get better, jump rope.
yeah, I got this weighted jump rope from my grandma. I was like, I got that jump rope, and when I first started with that, now I can't jump rope with that for nothing.
Right.
But I mean, my biceps would burn out before anything else. But I was like, when and where did you get this jump rope from? You know what I mean?
The one I used to use was it was called Billy something. It was like a weighted handles, and they were real light, but you just had like a ball bearings on the ends of it.
Yeah. It's kind of like this, but this one, like the rope with it is like, I swear, like 2 inches in diameter.
Yeah, it was thick.
Yeah.
That's hard to whip.
Oh yeah. You gotta use more arm strength just to get that thing
Yeah,
around. You know?
yeah.
Like I used one of the speed jump ropes. You know what I mean?
Your arms were wearing out before your legs were.
Yeah.
So you're an incredible athlete. I mean, incredible. Like, that's incredible. Jump rope for 2 hours. Man, I thought I was the man doing it for 10 minutes.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do when you.
Hey, I was the man of my neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
When you go to the bus stop, you see all the other dads.
Yeah.
My kids were like, that's my dad
That's
right
my
there.
dad, yeah.
My dad. Yeah,
My
he's
dad beat your dad.
He's got the
Yeah,
muscles,
yeah.
man. He can jump rope for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. You see him push the shit out of the mirror.
They can barely get to the mailbox and back without being out of breath.
Oh, yeah.
But if I went over to their house on Sundays and they wanted to drink beer, I would be passed out on the sofa after 3.
shoot.
And then
Hey.
boys are pounding it all day, and then they wake up tomorrow like there's nothing wrong. Like,
Oh, yeah.
They're seasoned veterans.
Hey, that's one thing about being blind, though. You can't go to a party and get quiet.
You can't.
You get quiet, you get sleep.
You
know
get
what I mean?
sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you go straight to sleep. It's like, you ain't got nothing to focus on. That alcohol take over. Like,
Yeah, you're down to
you're
sleep.
out. Yeah, you got to be up and moving.
That's incredible, man. So you were published in a magazine. What magazine?
Ultra Running Magazine.
Ultra Running Magazine. Who interviewed you?
Actually, Jennifer Rizzo. She actually was my crew chief for Vermont this year. Yeah.
That's cool.
She also paced. She paced when I hit mile 70. I had my guide, and then she paced because it was dark, and then at mile 70, all runners can pick up a pacer. So I picked up a pacer, so then my guide could just focus on helping me and not having to navigate the course. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Audrey, you have the magazine out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so read just a little bit of what was spoken. Or written, I'm sorry.
This is a 4-page spread.
Yeah, pick out a couple highlights.
I got a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures. That's me. I like the pictures.
How about this? Eric Strong crossed the finish line in 26 hours and 29 minutes, achieving a new PR. He ran for 26 hours and 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Watching any runner finish a 100-mile race is a moving experience, but cheering for Eric with my crewmates felt like a gift. We were supposed to be there to help him, but really it felt like he had supported us, and I have him to thank for my renewed love of the sport. After we finished the race, I followed behind as Jeff Cook led Eric toward our tents. Watching them, I thought about the things I perceived as my limitations, my gender, body type, and age. But I had witnessed Eric turn what others may see as weakness into strength. We all have things we think hold us back, but in reality we make the choice whether to feed our limitations or to use them to push us forward.
It's badass, bro. You're an inspiration.
And that's true. Like, I used to run a little bit once in a while with Achilles as a guide, and I guided Eric, or actually one time I think they must have probably called 20 people before me and nobody was available, so I ended up doing a little TV interview with him. And I told the reporter, like, no, when we're running, he's guiding me. He's telling me, do this, you can keep going, because I'm not a fast runner, and he's always running slow. And I'm like, I can't do it anymore. He's like, yes, you can. So we're running along, and I'm supposed to be the guide. And he's like, yeah, you can do it. Come on. Just one foot in front of the other, a little bit longer. No, we got to make it up to the college, then we can turn around. And he would get me to run for 5 miles, and I'd be dying. He's the coach.
If you want to go to the Greenway, you ever been out to the Greenway?
Yeah, which one?
The McAlpine. It's the McAlpine Greenway, right?
That's where we used to run.
Yeah, we ride our bikes. Yeah. You want to meet me there? And
I think it'd be better at Tyvola, the little Sugar Creek Greenway.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Oh, it's nice. It's like 13 miles out and back.
Is it concrete or is it gravel?
Yeah, it's wide though. It's wide. It's
really?
it's like shoot, maybe 2 car lengths.
All right, when we get back from Vegas, I'm putting you down on the calendar, and we're going to go ride.
All right.
I'm going to get my mountain bike, but I'm going to have to ship my really cool mountain bike from Dallas back over because it's got electric.
You got a motor for the hills?
It's got motor assist.
Oh, okay,
and it's a cool all suspension bike I bought in Dallas. I got a real good deal on it. It was like a $7,000 bike I got for $2,000.
You can't beat that.
Dude had like a garage full of them. He keeps upgrading, and it's ultra rich dude. And I found it on Marketplace, and all my friends that were in motocross. My son used to race motocross, and they're all mountain biking. I think Justin Brayton, he's a national champion racer, and then his coach from California runs a CrossFit gym, and they were all bragging about these bike assist bikes, like the electric assist, and they like, man, I understand it's electric assist, but they're pedaling faster, their heart rate is faster, they're paying attention in the woods, going through the trails, and like it's pushed their pace. So when they get on, like, say, a regular bike, they want to push the regular bike, like, way harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's like if someone that goes and runs with you, and you're doing, like, I don't know, let's say a mile sprint, and you're going to pace that person and get them to run a lot faster if you're pulling them. You know what I mean? Like, you're pulling that dude. It's like, bro, I ain't never ran this fast, you know? And that's what these motors do. So they make it a little bit easier, and they push your pace and heart rate and stuff like that. How important do you monitor your heart rate?
I monitor it, but I don't like use a heart rate monitor like I put around my chest. I just have it on my watch, and I really don't use the heart rate, but I do check it afterwards just to see where I'm at.
What do you average?
It depends on what I'm doing. Like marathon, I might be coming like 150. My good marathon's like 153, 154. But, I guess it depends on the temperature too. That's a cooler temperature. If it's hot, then like 170s.
170?
Yeah.
What's a 5K?
200.
200? Well, you running fast?
Yeah. That's a heart buster right there.
Heart buster.
Yeah.
What's ever been your highest heart rate?
I don't know if it was accurate. It was like 213 average.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Were you breathing heavy?
Yeah. I don't know if I was even breathing. You know what I mean? I get like, that's the bad part about not being able to see. You're like a 5K, and it's something that's just like all out speed. And then, your guide says, okay, 100 meters. Now, it's not like back in the day where I could see and be like, okay, yeah, I know how far it is. I know how much juice I got, so I could just push to the end. They'd be like, oh, it's 100 meters. So I'm like, okay, I give 100 meters. And like, oh, wait, there's 50 more meters. Like, what? I'm all tapped out. So it's kind of that at that point in time, you go into like straight anaerobic. Like, I'm not even breathing at all, so.
Wow.
But yeah, so I I've dropped in a race in a 5K before. You know what I mean? Like just straight went down. Like legs just like they had to build up so fast.
Just butter.
Just like, just tip over.
Yep.
Like my guy had actually carried me across the line. I was like, I'm disqualified. That don't count. You know. But I still took my award though. Cause I got like second place in my age group.
That's badass.
I got like, I think it was 5th or 7th. No, I had 5th place on lock, and then when I fell, I ended up getting beat by 2 people, so I took 7th.
Wow.
Overall, though.
Anybody got any, Micah, you got any more questions? I think it's cool, man. This has been amazing.
Yeah, good luck with everything.
Yeah, this has been incredible, man. Thank you so much for coming and
thanks for
taking the
having me.
time. And, you know, anybody that listens to this, guys, quit being lazy. Quit making excuses. Get your ass up. It don't have to be at 3 o'clock in the morning, but at 5, 6 in the morning, that's when I go to the gym. The champions of the world get up early. Get up early. Go to the gym. Work out. Put your life. Make yourself first, man. Thanks for listening to Real Talk with Mike Burke. And Eric, thank you, brother. You're a great man.
Like I said, thanks for having me.
No, it's been awesome, man. You've inspired me. I want to get up in the morning at 3:20. I want to just try it and see. Cool. Thanks for listening to Real Talk, and we'll have a good one. Take care.